Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about a literary appreciation, the novel Prince and the Pauper. So, before that I would like to give myself an introduction about myself. I am Mr. Jayakumar, an English teacher, Jaffna Hindu College. Okay, so today, we are going to discuss about, or instead of saying discuss, I can say about, I am going to discuss about the themes of the Prince and the Pauper, assuming that you would have read the book fully. So, when you start reading, so on the first reading you never get any ideas, because it is a reading for pleasure only. But when you start reading for the second time, definitely you will get some information from there. So, certain lines to be relished, certain lines to be cherished for the exam purpose. This is very, very important in the literary appreciation of for the O level. There are altogether 3 books are prescribed for the O level. One is Vendor of Sweets, the other one is Prince and the Pauper and Bringing Tony Home. Okay. So, in the theme itself, the themes can be divided into 4 categories: appearance versus reality, wealth, poverty and morality. Another one is justice, and the fourth one is nature versus nurture. So, in these themes, I prefer to today I would like to discuss about appearance versus reality. Okay, let us see what are the points are said in this one. So, the first point is the events in the Prince and the Pauper all center on trouble that happens when people try to determine what is appearance or the way someone or something looks. So, here you can see the appearance predominates in this story. People are not ready to judge a person. They always judge a person by their dress code only. They are giving much more importance for the dress code only, not for the appearance. So, when that means sometimes the appearance might be wrong, but here this is what happens when people try to determine what is appearance or the way someone or something looks. So, whatever it is we are the one to decide is he the right person or not. But in this novel, people also the same as the king, right. Okay. We will go for the next one. The 2 chief characters, Tom Candy and Edward Tudor, look physically identical in spite of their very different lives. So, they were born and bred in different places, in different environment and with a different culture, right. So, but they are identical. This is the main point here. The 2 chief characters, Tom Candy and Edward Tudor, look physically identical in spite of their very different lives. How is possible? So, they are from different culture, different social setups, so different milieu, and so they were brought up in a different social setup, the styles were different, but they are identical. So, you see how the theme has been set by the author, how he has brought this theme into this novel. Right. Next one. Edward is a prince who enjoys innumerable privileges, but he dreams of having the freedom to run around and play with other kids. Normally, when there is no freedom, if the restrictions, if there is stern restrictions are higher, then of course, definitely the people those who are under the pressure might try their level best to break it away. Here also the same. You see, Edward is a prince who enjoys innumerable privileges. That means nobody can imagine that. That much of privileges are there within that surroundings. That means within that palace, he enjoys the innumerable privileges. But he dreams of having the freedom to run around and play with other kids. So, this means there is no one else to play with him, even though he has a brother and a sister, that they are also not ready to play with him. So, then he feels alone. So, he wants to come out and to be with the people. So, that is completely restricted here. They can't associate with the ordinary people. Their way of living and the people, those that mean the subjects of that king, are totally different. So, they would not be get associated. Now, this has been indirectly said in this novel. Right. So, each and every, those who are born in the earth, so destiny and the fate plays a lot. Same as fate brings two together and they exchange the dresses. So, if you go through the novel, definitely you would see the prince is having a conversation within the palace. So, accidentally Tom comes along that road and he peeps into the palace, and he was really amazed by the scene of the prince, because that is the first time he has seen a real prince. He gave a devouring look. So, at that time one of the soldiers came and abused him. At that time, that particular incident was got the attention of the prince, and he asked the soldier to allow Tom Candy, that means to come in. So, thereafter only they are having a conversation. So, in one of the chapters they say a poor prince or something else, right. So, that was pinpointed in that chapter. So, that means according to this novel, it looks that already the author has knew that he is going to be a one day prince over there, 1 or 2 days he is going to be a prince over there. That was indirectly said in this one. Okay, let us go for the fourth one. Right. Edward is called insane for claiming to be the Prince of Wales, same as Tom dressed in finery is called insane of claiming to be a beggar. So, here you can see both of them, now they have exchanged their dresses and they are living in a different social setup. So, they are forced, if you see them, that means Tom, who is the fake prince over there, he is trying his level best to convince the people, those who are in the palace, that he is a beggar from the offal court. Same as at the offal court, as well as not only the offal court, wherever he goes, Edward says that he is the Prince of Wales. The people, they are not ready to accept or be convinced by the words of these two people, these two boys. So, all are in a contradictory way. So, this is what it says. Edward is called insane for claiming to be the Prince of Wales, same as Tom dressed in finery is called insane of claiming to be a beggar. Other one. Edward is transformed from stately prince to beggar by changing their clothes, even though the people who meets him notices how prince-like be in, but still they judge him by his clothes than his speech, ideas and assertion. So, this is what the theme is, right. Edward is transformed from stately prince to a beggar by changing the clothes, even though the people who meets him notices how prince-like be in, but still they judge him by his clothes than his speech, ideas and assertion. So, he asserts that he is the Prince of the Wales. Nobody trusts him. Nobody is ready to accept him. Same as his speech and his ideas. So, leave the ideas and see the speech. The accent might be vary. So, my accent is like this. Suppose even if you see a British person who is coming from British or from America or Canada, so their accent might be completely different. So, they can easily identify myself from their other origins. Same as here also, why the people are not ready to judge by his speech. So, leave this assertion and the ideas, then automatically you can come for the speech. So, both of them are in a different level. So, that is very important here. Therefore, only this has been said here, right. Next one. Edward finds his way to Tom's home in Offal, hoping that Tom's parents will help him get back to the palace, so he and Tom can replace each other. So, he has an intuition that suppose even if he goes to Offal, there he can get the moral support of the parents, and he can convey or he can reveal the truth, saying that we two are exchange our dresses. So, now I am the Prince of Wales and he is the Tom here. So, then they can go back and exchange their dresses and be in the same places, right. So, that of course would not happen. Right. Next one. Here you can see the crows were against him. The crows are the very dangerous, which has created as a, now the crows has become as a dangerous tool against these two boys, right. So, it has been, that is the very, it has become as a deadly weapon to them, the dress code. So, his clothes were against him because he is dressed in Tom's rags, which becomes an evidence that being the beggar and nobody believes that he is a prince. So, his clothes were against him because he is dressed in Tom's rags, which becomes an evidence that being the beggar and nobody believes that he is a prince. So, so already I have told you that now for Edward and for the Tom, the deadly weapon is the dress. So, now Tom's rags, which becomes an evidence, it is the evidence for the people, dress code. So, the dress becomes an, that means it becomes as a deadly weapon. Right. Next one, we will go for the next one. Edward seems insane because he wants to establish the reality that he is the Prince of Wales. He is not in appearance. So, he wants to establish that he is the Prince of Wales. Don't be get drifted away by the appearance. See the inward quality. Right? Then only you can find out who is the real one, who is the real prince, whether Tom or himself. That's why he wants to say. Edward seems insane because he wants to establish the reality that he is the Prince of Wales. He is not in appearance. You can't immediately judge a person by its appearance. How is possible? Right? So, that was nicely said in this theme. Another one. Tom's mother too mistakes Edward for Tom and believes that her son is unfortunately suffering from insane delusion. You see, it might happen in certain places, but naturally, not naturally, normally. So, very nicely the author has said, that means he does not want to attack Tom's mother, but here of course, he wants to differentiate the two people, that means Edward's family as well as the Tom's family. That means a mother has given birth to a child, so then the mother has, even whatever happens, she can easily identify who her son is. But here of course, both sides, that means even the royal family as well as the pauper family fails to identify their child. This is a pathetic scene here. You see, both, that means the two boys are the victim of this, that means this culture or the social setup. They have become the victim. Why? Because the mother couldn't identify their son. You see how it is a pathetic one. If mother fails to identify. So, the mother mistakes Edward for Tom and believes that her son is unfortunately suffering from insane. Suppose if a mother labels her son as a mad person, there is nothing else. The mother has come to a conclusion saying that his son, that means her son is suffering from insane delusion, same as the Edwards too. They too say the same thing. Other one, Edward tries to convince Miles Hendon that he is a prince. Hendon also disregards, undervalues him as insane, but the character of Edward indicates Hendon recognizes that Edward has certain prince-like qualities. It is easier for Hendon to believe Edward is insane, but the appearance suspects him too. So, here you can see Hendon. Edward indicates Hendon recognizes that Edward has certain prince-like qualities. Right? It is easier for Hendon to believe Edward is insane. So, now he believes that Edward is insane, but the appearance suspects him too. So, now he has a minute intuition is working within himself to Hendon. So, he suspects. Why? Because this Edward has the prince-like qualities. So, how can, is it right or wrong? Now, certain things works within himself, right? Okay. When Tom puts on Edward's clothes, he truly seems to be a prince. He tries to convince everyone in the palace that he is beggar and wants to go home, but nobody believes him because he dresses and talks like a prince. So, definitely we have to appreciate the Father Andrew. He is the one. So, he would have known, that means he would have known earlier that this thing might happen. So, in chapter 2, definitely you would have read that lines there, that he was also under the control of, that means in the palace. Thereafter, he was sent away. There is a line is there. He was sent away from there, from the house and the home with few penny or something else, right. So, soon after coming here only, he has found in the Offal Court, most of them are the thieves and beggars. That much of law is there. So, therefore, only they become thieves and beggars. So, the Father Andrew has undertaken the whole children and he has taught the moral lesson from the Bible and made them to beg, but not to thieve. This was taught by him. So, the children of the Offal Court, that means the parents of the children, they go for thieving, but these children are forbidden, they were prohibited not to thieving, because and by the Father Andrew, and he told these things through the Bible stories. This can be easily, you can identify in the book itself, right. Right. Beggar wants to go home, but nobody believes him because he dresses and talks like a prince. So, here in this point, you can see Tom puts on Edward's clothes. Now, a fake person has covered in an ornament. So, we call it as a gilt one. It is not the original one. So, when Tom puts on Edward's clothes, he truly seems to be a prince. A fake personality is in front of the in the palace. not the real king, prince is there. He tries to convince everyone in the palace that he is beggar and wants to go home. So, now he feels being in this place is very dangerous for him. Therefore, he is trying his level best to convince all the people and to go back to his home. But nobody believes him. Why? Because the dress has come as a deadly weapon to him. The dress is the main one. So, he dresses and talks like a prince. So, talking also, that means probably he might have been trained by the Father Andrew to bring out the accent like as the Edward. So, the talk as well as the dress is also identical as Edward. So, that also against him. Right. Edward runs out of palace, leaving Tom in splendid clothes inside. Clothes are so fine, and he resembles Edward. The first people he confronts think that he, the Prince of Wales, even King Henry VIII, Edward's father, couldn't realize that the boy in front of him in his son's clothes is a fake, but he declares that his son is mad when tries to explain the mistake. So, in this one, so Tom, who is in the place of Edward, he says he is not Edward, and he is from the awful court, and his name is Tom, and all these things, and he wants to convince the people, those who are living in the royal palace. But nobody is ready to accept his wordings. They feel so. What's the in-depth meaning is they are not ready to give importance for the truth. The two boys are trying their level best to convey themselves. They want to say their truth. Tom says that he is from our court and he is a fake prince. Same as they, of course, to the public, Edward says that he is the Prince of Wales and he is not the real prince is myself and the fake prince is over there. Just we have, for a joke only, we have exchanged these dresses. But the people, they are the model for the youngsters. Even the people as well as the royal court, the elderly people are the model for the youngsters. So, youngsters are not ready to accept the reality. They are not ready to accept the truth, what the boy says. So, how are these people are? That means the royal palace is going to look after his subjects. This is what he asks, right? Okay. So, boy in front of him in his son's clothes is a fake. It's not the real one. It's a fake. But he declares that his son is mad when tries to explain the mistake. So, he repeatedly says that he is from awful court and he is Tom and he wants to go back home. So, this was repeatedly said and immediately it was labeled as insane. He is a mad person. And even if you go further, the father declares, labels that his son is mad, even though he is the person who is going to, he is the heir of his family. He is the person who is going to be kept in the throne and crowned as a king. You see how the father who is not ready to accept the truth and he wants a fake one to keep in the throne. That is very clearly said in this one. Another one, Henry declares that his son is mad and England's heir, which means like Henry, Tom's mother, too believes that his son is mad, but both of them are blind to know that appearance belly reality. Yeah? So, this one is belly the reality. So, Henry declares that his son is mad, right? Same as England's heir. He is the heir to the England throne. Like Henry, Tom's mother too believes that his son is mad, but both of them are blind. So, completely they are living in a blind world. That means grown up people. They are grown up people, they are living in a mad position. They are the one. They are not ready to. So, they have put a curtain over them, and through the curtain they wanted to see the world. So, even if they move over the curtain and even if they look the world, then of course, they will know the reality, the real person who is. So, here of course, they are not ready to listen to the words of their child. So, this is what said in this book itself, right? Right, okay, we will go for the next one. The Earl of Hereford, Edward's uncle, feels that the situation at the moment is not conducive and convinces himself that is just madness. He too believes Edward is mad because of the appearance and dresses, right. This is very other thing is, so first you can see who the Henry VIII believes that he is mad, and now Earl of Hereford also feels that he is mad, because the situation at the moment is not conducive and convinces himself. So, he wants to convince himself that is just madness. So, since the situation is not conducive, then he also travels along with these people and feels he is not ready to give room for his intuition. So, he too feels that it is right. The people, that means the majority of people are saying that he is mad, then he also travels along with him. So, he does not want to give room for his intuition. Right. The next one is sound of coronation paved the way for the boy to enhance their clothes back, and Tom hastily requests Edward to return his rags, which proves that Tom wants his real appearance back. So, you see here he insists to get back his rags. Why? That is his reality, that is his identity. So, he does not want to lose his identity, because when he has lost his identity, then he feels how much he has struggled to get back his identity. So, living in a royal palace to act as a prince is not an easy way. So, he is coming back to, he wants to come back and to settle in this place on the awful court and be with their people. That's why, that's what he wants, and he feels is that means he feels happy to be in that at the awful court. Next one, Edward himself is quickly covered with big massive coronation robe, so the spectator will believe that he is the real prince. Most people only believe the reality if it looks the way they expect, right. So, Edward himself is quickly covered with big massive coronation robe, so the spectator will believe that he is the real prince. Most people only believe the reality if it looks the way they expect. So, the people those are living there in England, they have some sort of what you say expectation. So, suppose if a prince is the if he is the prince, then he will look like this. If there is one thing is less, then they never accept that he is the Prince of the Wales. So, Edward himself is quickly covered with big massive coronation robe. So, the spectator will believe that he is the real prince. So, most people believe the reality. So, this is a very important thing, the reality, if it looks the way they expect. So, they have an expectation. So, there is a line is there, I think Bacon or somebody has said, we should not measure others by our own yardstick, right. We should not measure others with our own yardstick. This is what happens here. So, each and every person measures other people with their own yardstick. So, therefore, only everything goes wrong, right. Next one. The mistake has been cleared up, trouble is over, but the two boys are to suffer the humiliation of being called insane. So, now these two boys are labeled as insane. Why? Because of the parents. They are the one. So, the parents' mistake has victimized these two people, these two boys. Suppose even if I have taken the right decision at the right moment, then of course never, definitely this would not have happened. They are not ready to accept the truth. Therefore, only everything goes wrong. Next one. It is dangerous and damaging. It can be mistake appearance of reality. By the appearance, sometimes it might create some danger. So, do not judge the appearance. That means, do not judge a person by his appearance. This is what it says so. Right? Next one. Ultimately, knowing the importance of reality, Edward gives a special set of clues to indicate that Tom has a privileged position in society. Edward wants people to judge Tom by his appearance because his clothes send a message that he is an important person. So, here Edward can provide a dress to him. That means, Tom wants to be as a prince, so therefore only he has given a clothes to him. But whereas now Tom is not ready to be wear those clothes. Why? Because he wants his own identity. Next one. Most of the characters put mere faith in appearance than the two boys' assertions about their true identity or even their own instincts. So, you see, the most of the characters put mere faith. So, they have a strong faith in the appearance only, right? Appearance. Two boys' assertions, they are asserted, right? They strongly asserted about their true identity or even their own instincts. So, they are not ready to accept the instinct also. So, from this one, I can finally conclude with this one. That means, events and experiences determine the life of a person attitude, right. So, events and experiences determine the life of a person's attitude. So, that means, here soon after they have exchanged their dresses, so he lived, that means Edward lived in a different culture, in a different social setup, in a different style of people. Same as when Tom comes in to the royal palace, there he lives in a different social setup, different culture, with different people. So, both have a contradiction. Both boys are living in a contradictory place. So, now they have gathered a lot of experiences and so much of events have happened, but for the Tom less events happened, but for the Edward, he has undergone severe tortures and mocking and humiliation as now in number of things have happened to him. So, those things are experienced for him to become as a king. Now, he felt, he knows how to run this. Soon after becoming a king of the England, he knows what to do and what should be done to the people. So, here the way, that means the exchange of dresses have given a lesson for these two boys. Tom has learned so much of things when he was in the palace, whereas when Edward has come into the ground, that means when he associate with the boys, that means with the that means lower level. Now, he has gone to the slum area. Offal Court is a slum area where the paupers and the slums, that means the people, those who are, that means the top level people, they never associate with those people. So, he has gone to that means that area. So, there he lives, that means he lives with the people and he learns and he associates with the people and he learns their lifestyle. This is what the author willing to bring out. So, the one thing is, it's called a prediction. Is there. The prediction is there. Why? Because the Father Andrew has already trained Tom, teaching the moral lesson as well as the fairy tales and the kings and the queen stories and the prince stories and all the things to him, and he has trained him very well. So, it means the Father Andrew has already decided that he is the one who is going to be as a crowned as a king of England. For one or 2 days he is going to be as a king. So, this is a prediction of the author. It has been indirectly said. Otherwise, you can see in the chapter 2, that means education was taught by Andrew secretly to the people of Offal Court. At the same moment, that means Henry VIII, he believes that he tests whether he is Tom or Edward. That means, there of course, he asks a question to Tom in Latin. He answers in Latin properly. Then he feels there is no other thing, there is no doubt that he is Edward. But when he talks to him in French, then there is no response from him. But suppose if the Edward was there at that time, definitely he would have given the response to Henry in French. So, in one instance, he says to Tom, so before they leave, before they part, after exchanging the dresses, so when they were having a conversation, actual conversation, he says somewhere else, learn French but don't go for Greek. So, you had to struggle a lot. So, that was said by the Edward there. So, there of course, Edward has learned Latin, Greek and the French, but here of course, only Tom has learned only French only. So, so here of course, the people of Offal Court as well as the royal palace are living under superstitious beliefs. This is what we can come to a conclusion by, because they are not ready to, they always watch the people, they judge the people by their appearance. That means by their clothes. The clothes are the measurement for them. If you wear a very fine clothes, then of course you are top class. If you wear that means cheap dresses, then you are lower class. This is what said in this novel, right. If time permits, I will discuss the other one, say wealth, poverty and the morality and justice and nature versus nature. Okay. Thank you boys. See you again.